Hey guys, what is going on? TMXB1, and here it is, the first what I'm going to call Gamers Unite podcast. I've got a couple of guests in here who are all pro Xbox members. We've got a couple of multi-console owners as well. So I'm going to start with Blazing Phoenix.
Hey guys, it's Blazing Phoenix, Pony Destroyer, keep it Xbox, keep it gaming, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Stop that hate.
Yeah, man, that's true. And we've got Darian. Give him a shout, Darian.
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? This Darian is King, bro.
And we've got the Big Kahuna. Give him a shout.
What's up? It's the Big Kahuna. What's up?
And we've got the Ultimate Pro Xbox. Is Xbox 448.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbox 448.
And this is where we're going to start. Now, as we know, E3 is just around the corner. So Xbox have been dropping bombs for a couple of weeks now, and it's only going to get better. As you know, Major Nelson has just tweeted out the other day saying that Weekend is going to start tweeting a lot, so watch out for your notifications. So that's my first topic for tonight on this podcast. It's going to be about E3. And me, myself, I am excited, and I know these guys are all excited as well. So I'm going to start with Blazing, and give us your thoughts on E3 on the Xbox side.
Me now, I'm really excited for E3 because you hear all this news Phil Spencer been dropping. You talking about removing the paywall and all this? That's E3 news right there. So they released all this news: Halo 5, Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive gameplay for E3. Crazy, and I can't even imagine what they're gonna show. This with nothing but games. This is gonna be crazy. Hope he brings the OG Xbox games too. Cause remember I started there. So I'm really excited to see what.
Well, as you know,
the trademark Phantom does.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And as you know, the actual Xbox logo is Game On. So I'm just thinking all games. So yeah. So Darian, what do you think about it? Are you excited for it?
Oh man, you already know I'm excited. I think this is gonna be one of the bombest E3s, man. I think they've been dropping bombs all week. You know what I'm saying? All week they've been dropping bombs, showing us little things, little things about E3. So I'm all hyped about it. I can't wait. I took off for work for it. So I know I'm about to have fun.
Yeah, man, yeah. If you guys are wondering where you can catch E3, they're going to be streaming it live on Twitch. And if you're still on your X360, the X360 has got an advert now for you to tune in on Monday with all your time zones in there. So you can go and watch it on your Xbox.
Definitely got to do a live podcast.
Yeah. We'll be doing a live E3 podcast as well, which I said. So I'm going to get the Big Kahuna's take on this. What he's excited for, what he's looking forward to.
Just excited because the fact that they keep releasing all this information and we haven't gotten to E3 yet indicates that there's going to be a lot of content when E3 comes along.
Yeah.
And before, my fellow Microsoft guys, don't be surprised that we won't see some indie stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Because I'm just letting you know.
I expect
Stuff in our face.
I reckon it'll be about 7 or 8 minutes on indies, and then they'll get back to the big stuff. That's what I'm going for. Yo, thanks, Big Kahuna. Xbot, are you going to give us your intake on this?
I mean, what can I say? I believe the hype train is really in Microsoft's favor right now with all the news they've been releasing. Not only that, it seems like a lot of the studios that are under Sony's umbrella they're not actually showing up to E3 either. I'm excited for E3 as a whole. I'm excited to see, what Ubisoft is bringing, what EA is bringing. Of course, the biggest hype is around the Microsoft conference right now. I can't wait, dude. I'm counting the days down as we speak. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Wouldn't it be funny if Microsoft didn't show nothing but indie games and TV? Now, all this hype, we've been mad.
Let me just throw something in about the indies with Microsoft. I do believe in the conference they are going to have, some information about indies. But what they did, and I think this is the perfect way to do it, is during the few days of the E3 conference itself, They have a main Twitch channel, which they're going to be talking about the AAA games and doing the interviews and stuff. And then they're going to have a secondary channel that's actually going to focus on 2 ID at Xbox games per day for the length of E3. And that's where you're going to get your indie information from.
That's a good idea. But don't show it on E3 then.
You see, what I'm surprised at is, with Microsoft they've been tweeting 3 stories a week for about 3 weeks now. Sony haven't come out with anything and said anything. Now, have they got a surprise up their sleeve? They want to keep suspense, or are they just got nothing to? SingStar, yeah.
No, I mean, don't discredit Sony for showing something on the stage. There's going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
My whole thing within my history of gaming is, and this is my personal opinion, all right, from what I've seen from them, is I don't necessarily trust what they show until it's closer to coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's been so many things like you could look at The Last Guardian, you could look at Drive Club and what they said about Drive Club and how many times that got pushed back. Like, I just don't until it's like a week from releasing the game.
Yeah.
And that's not true. That is true.
Yeah. See, when you talk like this, people think, Xbox, but it's the truth. If Microsoft fuck up, we'll tell the truth. But Sony been messing up.
I don't know.
It got nothing to do with Sony. We'll tell the truth. No, you tell the truth.
Nah, yeah.
It ain't like we just attack Sony.
Nah, yeah. When they do something good, I definitely, I definitely shout them out and I let people know what they're doing good. But when they start tripping up, I also tell people that as well.
Yeah.
Gibbo, are you excited or what, man?
I am excited. Of course, I'm excited. As I say, I will be doing a live podcast, on the E3. If you guys are available on that day.
Yeah, I'm down.
And, so I believe it starts at, is it 11 a.m. in the US?
12 where I am.
12 where you are, right. So I will be doing that live, yeah.
And I was already going to talk to you about it, man. That's unbelievable. You read my mind.
Man.
Yeah, we down with that.
So
we gonna watch the Sony one too.
Yeah, we'll watch both sides if you want, so. Right.
No,
you talked about seeing it on the 360.
Yeah.
If people go into their dashboard on the X1, right?
Yeah.
If they go into the game section, there's actually an advertisement. It doesn't say anything about Twitch. There's a tile that says, watch E3 live here. But I don't know if they're just doing the Twitch channel or if they're actually, you'll be able to pick a live app and see everything in full high def.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Man, Microsoft should have bought Twitch.
Watch it on Twitch. You could actually watch it, even if somebody goes to work. You can actually watch it at work through Twitch. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, man. No work will get done. Yeah.
Half the guys at my job called out for E3.
Well, I'm like, yo, boss, I can't come in today. Why? I'm a bit sick.
Yeah, nobody come in.
Yeah. Right, the next topic I've got, we've heard, now we was all excited for this, which was Forza Horizon 2. Now, as we know it's going to run now at 1080p, 30 frames per second. Now, we've got all this resolution thing now. Is a lot of people saying 30 frames. Drive Club we know come out at 30 frames. So as we know, it is Playground Games, which is a studio which is based in England. It was founded back in 2009. I think Turn 10 actually made the first Forza Horizon for the 360, was it?
Yeah, Turn 10.
I did Playground Games did. Wasn't it both of them?
Freestyle games. Well, yeah. Playground first squared away the deal with Microsoft and Turn 10 to develop the original Forza Horizon, which there were less than 20 staff, but today it boasts over 100 employees. Now, we've seen some screenshots. I want to get your guys' take on this, and are you excited for the game? Blazing, we'll start with you.
If those screenshots are in engine, and that's real gameplay. That look gorgeous.
Yeah.
You like see the water on the stone and like the way the water dripping off that Lamborghini. That look gorgeous. Now, not to take shots. If these come out with Drive Club, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Look at that game. Look at Drive Club.
I think what
The Drive Club was it? Drive Club only had 50 cars.
50 cars, I think. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and they said that game plus had 200 plus.
Hundreds of cars.
Oh man, I can't wait for that game.
So, Darian, are you into car games, racing games?
Man, I got Forza 5. I bought Forza. I'm not into simulation. People say that it's maybe like kind of like a game Forza. Maybe interested in that game. I don't know.
Big
on the Forza though, I did spend $60 on the Forza. I don't know.
Your car games.
Yeah.
Give us your shout on this.
I've been on Forza 5 really heavy, and I'm excited for the game, and I've seen the screenshots, but we all know that nowadays you see one thing, and then when you get it, there's that downgrade, and I'm just hoping that what they showing us is not a downgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, if this was a downgrade, it'd be freaking awesome, but I'm just saying, I'm hoping that what they're showing us is what we're going to get.
Yeah. I've just got a question here from, a response actually from Alex G. He just said both of them studios did contribute to Forza Horizon. So it was Turn 10 and Playground Games who actually developed that game, yes. So, Export, I'm going to ask you now. I know you love your races. Give him your intake on this game, dude.
Well, first of all, people are talking, like, I hear people a little concerned about a downgrade. You got to remember, this thing is rumored to release in fall of this year. So they pretty much have to have most of the game up and running. I like what Playground Games said about the whole resolution and such. They said that they believe that resolution isn't the definition of next gen. They even said that textures they don't believe is the definition of next gen, which is why they created a light engine for this game that is second to none. Instead of having the developers code in what color blue for the sky during the day, the engine actually reads the light reflections off the particles in the atmosphere and gives you the truest looking sky you'll ever see in a video game.
Yeah, they were saying that, and was it Fable Legends? They say it's gonna be look gorgeous too.
Yeah, and to do all of that, and to say like they don't believe that resolution is that definitive next gen experience, and to still have the game running at 1080p.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Not only that, you have 1,000 members to each crew. You can have up to 1,000 members, hundreds of cars. They do have spots in the map called meets, where you can actually get together, show off your cars, sell your cars, trade off music that you've got in the game. So I guess somehow, some way, you unlock different tracks in the game. You could start like rivalry races just from those meeting places.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
What I like. Go on, Blazing. Sorry.
Hearing about this game, after hearing about this game, are you guys still gonna buy the crew from Ubisoft? Because this game sounds like it's gonna kill the crew, Mike.
That is a bit iffy, especially with the driving on Watch Dogs. I'm a bit iffy with it being an Ubisoft game, but I did watch it. Yeah, I did watch it, and I wasn't that impressed with it.
Yeah, I've been trying to say that from the beginning. Me as being, a racing gamer, that's my absolute favorite type of game to play. when a studio comes out that isn't known for making racing games, I try to tell people to hold off a little bit because you got to see how they're doing with the car physics and stuff
Yeah.
like that, because that is really important in the immersion of a racing game. You
Yeah.
know, you got to feel like you're actually driving that car, and
Yeah.
that's where I believe Turn 10 and Playground, they do an absolutely incredible job when it comes to doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like with the physics and everything. I mean, when Forza dropped, I seen that and I thought, wow, on the launch of the Xbox One, I seen it and it was like, Jesus Christ, is this an actual game? That's what I thought, and it was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And there was no. When I popped that
Incredible.
game in, when I popped it in on day one, it was exactly the same as what I'd seen. It was just great.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, but a lot of people, like Jabari Clark said the game was downgraded 4 to 5.
We're gonna get a load of these, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got fans on both sides. We've just got a question. Well, we've got a thing here from Yomo Flow Tech, and he says tables have turned and Sony is messing up Lion. No regular updates to make PlayStation better. Dry on exclusives and nothing but indies. Microsoft Xbox One just keeps getting better and better and better. And I tend to agree. I mean, it is because, as I say, all we've heard over the past 2-3 months is all these. Since Phil Spencer took over, he seems to be the man. He seems to be listening to us. He's responding to people on Twitter. He's like responding to fans. We've had fans make these mock-ups of how they want the desktop, and he said he'll send it to the team to have a look at. So he's actually engaging with the fans, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, he's a real stand-up guy.
Right now,
I think that's the best
it's
thing he
Phil
could have done.
Spencer for president, man. Phil Spencer for president.
Yeah.
I've just got a question for all of you now. Yeah, man. Yeah. I've got a question from Alex G. He says, ask the guys, what's the craziest thing you want to happen at E3?
I just
man.
want Phil Spencer to come out there and say, my name is Phil Spencer, games, and then walk off the stage.
Drop the mic, huh?
I don't want to hear nothing else about, in this year we did this and we did. I just wanted him to come out and say, I'm Phil Spencer, now who with the games, and then walk off the stage.
Do you think he should apologize for the DRM or something? For last?
No.
He already did.
Should he just keep it games?
He already did.
Yeah.
I think that was day one when he took over Blazing. He tweeted, we messed up a lot of things, or it was an interview, and he said, that will not be happening again while he's head of Xbox Division.
I can understand that, but how do you apologize for telling the truth?
I know, but you just
if anybody should be apologizing, it should be someone when they lying.
All right, check this out. You said the craziest thing at E3.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, the first thing I thought about, and I got a shout out to my boy Bill Weaver over in Bang Bang Next Gen Gamers, a group on Facebook. He wants Phil Spencer to come out in that Lamborghini that they show on the cover of Horizon 2, and like you said, like he comes out, opens the door, just says games on the mic, drops the mic, walks away, and there goes the presentation. It starts. So I would love to see that, dude.
Yeah, true.
He come out, he just be like, games, bitches, and then he just drives off.
That'd be funny too, like he come out and start rapping or something. Oh man. Yeah, you start come out rapping and stuff.
You know they're gonna bring out.
You gotta give him credit.
Yeah.
He the man.
He is the man. I do believe that. He is the man. He been doing everything right, man.
Yeah.
Now
we kind of know how Sony fans feel when they keep talking about Yoshida, but unlike Yoshida, Phil Spencer actually done stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. Right, the next one. Apps, updates, etc. As you know, we've been getting updates, especially if you're in the beta. We've been getting updates every 2-3 weeks, maybe even a week. As you know, the big June one was dropped last night. Some have been getting it today. What do you think? How do you think the Xbox is progressing now, and how do you think it will be? Where do you think it will be at the end of the year towards hardware, software, and what you can actually do on the system itself? I'm going to start with Xbox on this one.
Well, I went through the list of the apps and such, and I saw I did see a lot of like cable type apps like HBO Go,
Yeah.
the Stars and stuff like that. Um, I already have my cable box hooked into my X1, and I like using it that way. Uh, I live in a part of Connecticut that's not really well off financially, and I can see a lot of people using like their relatives like passwords for their cables and hooking themselves up
Yeah.
with like HBO Go and Stars and stuff like that. And on that level, I'm actually really excited about it. Um, uh, I'm not really a big apps person. I mean, I use the Explorer, I use Netflix, YouTube, and then afterwards I go into like upload and stuff like that. So for the people who are really into the apps, I'm excited for them. And then like the people I talked about, like the people in my neighborhood who don't necessarily have cable, and they're just working off that one internet source and stuff like that. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for those type of people.
That side of thing, yeah. Big Kahuna, what are your thoughts on this with the updates and that and everything what's coming out?
The updates, all I can say is they're fantastic because we're getting something, and I'm in the beta program just like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
just getting stuff every day. I'm almost to the point where I'm thinking, damn, how much are they gonna be able to fit on this damn box? We might need a whole
Yeah.
hard drive just for the update.
Yeah.
Mm, that's true. I mean, I have noticed as well with this update, I installed Watch Dogs. I think that took about 6 minutes to install it physically. And I was thinking, wow, they've actually improved the speed time of the actual discs now, of the physical discs. Because as you know, when they first launched, some people were taking an hour and a half, 2 hours to actually install a game.
Yeah, the low top.
So yeah, but I mean, I was impressed with this. I put it in; it was up to 20% within like 1 minute. I thought, damn, they've actually upped this. They've done something to this
Damn.
to get the speeds up. Yeah. So, Darian, what do you think? Are you happy with your apps and updates and everything, and the way
Oh,
the console is progressing?
definitely, man. They're doing their thing, man, with these updates because it's like, man, I feel like Xbox is like Oprah, man. They just been giving out everything, giving away everything. Every
Yeah.
month we getting an update, man. It's one of the best things. It's those type of things where it's like, damn, this company is actually pouring out what we gave our money for. You know what I'm saying? We gave our $500 to see if they're going to come out and stay true to their word. And they've been staying true to their word, giving us updates every month. And that's pretty cool, man. I love the apps too. I'm an apps dude. I'm a features guy.
Yeah.
There you
You know
go.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love all my features. Even though I do have a cable box, I still like to, just go on HBO Go. I like this HBO on demand. It's the kind of stuff that you don't have to have like on demand with your real cable. You know what I'm saying? You could just have regular cable and have on demand with HBO,
Yeah.
Cinemax, whatever they come out with, whatever apps.
Yeah, man. True. So, Blazing, I'm gonna take it to you then. Are you happy with the way it's going, the way it's looking forward?
Excited to see what they're going to bring in the future because it's like we get apps every month. Remember with the 360, they had like that big spring update, so we had to wait a long time to get. It's really cool how they're doing each month. So I'm like excited. Like, what are we gonna get next month? Are we gonna get a new thing for Skype? Or are we gonna get Facebook? What are we gonna get? And I think a lot of 360 guys are gonna make the transition just for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
I
know.
love the apps on 360 and don't want to come to Xbox One because they like the Infinity or the apps like iHeartRadio. And then I know some people they just like they don't use their cell phones or nothing. They don't use their cell phones or they don't have a cable box, so they use all their apps on their Xbox 360 to get their internet or they get their cable or whatever. And I think it's really cool what Microsoft doing. So I would like to. I don't even know what apps they could bring next month. This is crazy. And they're really doing a good fan service. I'm very excited to be an Xbox gamer right now. I love the apps.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
should get a Facebook one too.
Yeah. I think a
Yeah.
Facebook one will come.
It'd be cool, like,
Yeah. Well, they're even integrating Twitter now with the actual One Guide, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, that looks amazing. Can you imagine when the official like
so cool.
Microsoft channel comes on and
Yeah.
they have like the Halo TV shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Can you see like what type of promotion having that Twitter integration in there?
With
People
yeah.
will be tweeting about the show.
Yeah,
It'll go out in the what they call the Twitter
cool.
sphere, and people are gonna be like, damn, I want to watch that, I want to see that, I want to take part in that, and before you know it, it can really drive sales just by doing that one little thing.
Yeah.
So,
Gibbo, can I just add one more thing, because I talked about the new apps. I didn't really say anything about the updates.
Yeah.
I do believe that supporting the external hard drives is a big win for Microsoft. Because and I have to compare the two, because they're basically they're the two next gen consoles. So when you look at what Sony's doing, Sony has their internal hard drive, which you will be able to upgrade. Now, you can only upgrade it through Sony licensed hard drives, and Sony has been known to bump up their prices because of their own name on the hard drive, where Microsoft seems to be more for everybody with, oh, you need more memory? You know, just take this standard 2 terabyte that you would normally plug into your PC, and now you can use that. And I believe that is a huge win when it comes to these consoles.
What's the maximum on the Xbox side? What is it? 5?
32 terabytes. You can have up to.
Damn.
You can have up to 2 external hard drives plugged in at the same time.
I thought it was 3.
Wow.
Last time I checked, it was 2, man. My bad.
Yeah, 32 terabytes.
Just a Xbox. Just to you know, say a little bit on what you said, because you know there's gonna be some ponies that's gonna hear what you said, and they're gonna go to last generation and talk about, well, the 360. I remember when those hard drives on there cost like $150, and it was only 120 gigs, and you could get one for 50. So I just had to throw that in there because
but it's true. But guess what? What I like about Microsoft is they learn from their mistakes. Sony just keeps and this is my opinion, but I believe that Sony just keeps knocking their head into the freaking wall all the time. Where Microsoft, like I said, even Phil Spencer, he apologized for the fan reaction on the all-digital system. Now, I wanted the all-digital system. I saw the future in that system, and that's when I pre-ordered it. Now, there was a lot of backlash about it. A lot of it, I believe, was definitely media fueled. You know what I'm saying? And I do think a lot of it was Microsoft didn't know what the frig to say, and that was a really bad point.
After E3, that was crazy.
That's where they messed up. Okay, they could have told people exactly what they had planned in terms of selling back digital games and such, but they fumbled the ball there. But at least they learned from their mistakes and moved forward. I don't think Sony's doing that, man.
So I've just got a couple.
You know what problem with that is the Sony fans don't criticize the PlayStation.
No, I mean,
if Sony buys an Xbox, they should criticize their own console. Maybe Sony will listen to them. Because
if
remember, all the criticism,
I will criticize it. And I know a lot of you guys will criticize it, but like you said, that is true. They don't actually come out and say when anything's wrong with their system or if they're not happy with anything. It just seems that they're always 100% happy with their system all the time.
We should thank the Sony fans, though, because they made our console better. If they didn't whine about DRM, maybe Microsoft wouldn't have listened to all of them. Then we would have been stuck with Diametrics. We would have never had Phil Spencer, and then you never know what would have happened. So we should thank the Sony fans. They made our console better. So thank you, Sony fans.
Thank you, guys.
Your Multi Tech has just said on our conversation about the external. If you think about it, it is 3 hard drives because you've got the internal and 2 external. So you will have 3 hard drives.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I said 2 externals. So. But I see what you're saying.
True. I've just got another question here. What do you guys think? Would you go crazy if it was announced at E3 that we got Shenmue 3 and Phantom Dust exclusives on the X1?
Nuts.
Who wants to take it first?
Go on, Blazing, because I know you're an old school gamer as well, just like the and X.
Now, the point, Crap Gamer, he said, remember when they was talking about Gears of War, how Microsoft said, oh, that's an epic thing, it's run its course, that's up to Epic to make the new one, and then they bought the IP. That's kind of similar to what they said about Shenmue. He said that was up to Sega ran its course, so maybe they do have the game locked down. You never know. It won't be that, and then you never know. They could lock that game up, and I think they have it
I remember
because he
playing.
was talking. Phil Spencer was talking about it. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, yeah. I remember playing Shenmue on my Dreamcast, man, and it was just one of those games what you just got into and you thought, wow, what a game.
Yeah.
And then you just think, now, if they can lock this down, if they can afford to get it, but well, yeah, they can afford to get it. If they do get it, and the big announcement is that is going to shift a lot of. There's going to be a change of tides then, because with these games now, like with Phil Spencer, what we've just been talking about, he knows what we want. He knows the game's what we want. He's a gamer himself, and I think he's just gonna. He's got about 2 or 3 up his sleeve. What he's keeping under wraps, and he's just gonna, like what Big Kahuna said, he's gonna walk on, drop the mic, hit the Titantron, the big jumbo screen, and it's just gonna play.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
I'm gonna go crazy.
Happen. Yeah, the UFC demo, Alex G, UFC demo. Have you all downloaded it and played it?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Big Kahuna, have you played it?
Yes, I have.
And what do you think of it?
It's one of those games where everybody's seen it at E3. They seen the dude jump off the cage with his toes flexing, and they was like, "Oh my god!" And EA was like, "This is in-game graphic." And then you download the demo, and it's like, it's like, what is this? This isn't what I've seen at E3.
Just got a bit of feedback there. Darren, yeah, just cheers, man.
Once again, going back to the whole downgrade thing, they show you one thing, and this is another thing I don't like, because we know we're going to see it, and it's going to come from Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
We're going to see these CG trailers, and they're going to pass them off and say that, they're in-game graphics and all this other stuff, and people are going to get hyped. And then once you see the real game, it's going to be like, wait a minute, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, going to opposite of that, it seems that Quantum Break actually had an upgrade so far.
Yeah.
As opposed to a downgrade.
I will say this. I agree with you on that. Now, in Bang Bang, the ponies are all saying, oh, it looks like a downgrade. But that's actually one of the games that looks like the actual trailer when it came out, because when I seen that trailer, I wasn't excited. I said I need to see gameplay. Once I seen that gameplay, I was like,
that game look incredible.
Looks like the trailer.
But guess what? Like that trailer was the game as well.
Yeah,
but we still gotta wait until we get it, because you never know what happens from now until then.
No, I got you, man.
That game look amazing.
It's good to keep a level head, not to go too crazy, saying, "Oh yeah, this is what it is." No doubt. It's good to keep your eye on it. Keep a proper perspective, and basically see what happens, closer and closer it gets to release. I see exactly what you're saying, Kahuna, and I agree with you totally, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right, I've got a lot of things here now, right? I'm going to switch my attention now to Xbox, because he's the expert in this. DirectX 12. If any of you guys know anything else, if you want to chip in, just chip in. But I'm going to leave it to Xbox now. He's going to talk about DirectX 12, what it can do for the system, what it's going to do to the system, just to put a few of these people's minds at rest. So I keep getting loads of questions. Are all games going to be 1080 60 frames? I'll let the Xbox answer that for you.
From the research I've done, 1080 and 60 it's going to be an absolute breeze. There's a CEO for a development team called Stardock, and they're doing a tech demo called Star Swarm. Now, they did it with the Mantle, and they said it was pretty good. The ease of development on the Mantle on Mantle was pretty good. And now they're doing it with DX12, and the CEO, Mr. Wardell, decided to come out and tell everybody that it is going to double the speed of the GPU that's in the X1. He said inherently it's like putting a new GPU in that runs at twice the speed. Damn. Not only that, that's only one utilization that DX12 is doing. There's something called double commands in game coding where the game kind of knows what it has to do, and the CPU still feels responsible to send out the command.
Yeah.
Now, with the move engines that are in the hardware, Microsoft, working with AMD and NVIDIA, have figured out a way to bypass what they call that double command, and basically the CPU doesn't even touch those processes, and the move engine will do it themselves. All right, so that's further utilizing and increasing the speed of the system. Now, Mr. Wardell also talked about two things that he said were absolutely huge. One of them being dual rendering. Now, like I don't say I know everything. All right, I research this stuff every day. I'm still trying to see exactly what dual rendering will mean for us, the consumers of the X1. And as soon as I find that stuff out, I'll definitely, let you guys know.
Yeah.
But DX12 is basically taking existing hardware and reworking how it processes data to get the absolute most out of it. And the spec sheets that they used for how powerful these systems were in the beginning, they're not even a part of this equation anymore, because that spec sheet, when it comes to multiple core processing units, they always used one core mainly, and then when that one core got filled up, it started dribbling out the data to the other cores.
Right.
And with DX12, it takes that data that needs to be processed and equally distributes it across the multiple cores, inherently making it so you can process at least double the data from what you were doing before. All right. Not only that, I just found out that DX12 will also let game developers even specifically pick which cores do what in the game. So they can actually pick which cores will take care of the processing for the shadowing and stuff like that. They can pick each individual core and give it the command on what it needs to do.
I mean, speaking of cores now, one of the people who are watching now, your Morflow Tech has just said, DirectX 12 will also utilize all 8 cores for games, since games only use one core.
So that's pretty much what I was saying right there.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, just.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. What do you think will improve the system more, DirectX 12 or the cloud?
Ooh.
Good question from Alex Gina. Yeah.
That is a very good question. If you guys don't mind, let me share my thoughts on that. I believe as of right now, DX12 will give the hardware the advantage, and I think DX12 will optimize the hardware to make the cloud more tangible, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because it'll completely utilize the processing data. It'll streamline it to the point where it's not overworking certain hardware points, and then the cloud will come in and it'll be able to work a lot better using DX12 than the API we have now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've not seen much of the cloud since the console's launched. All last year, up until launch, it was the cloud's going to do this, the cloud's going to do that. I know it's used for Forza for your driver tires, and it's used for Titanfall, and a few other games, but we've not actually seen the full utilization of the cloud yet. But as I say, this console is built for 10 to 15 years, so what in 5 years' time, who knows what will happen?
I completely believe with the research I've done on DX12. Oh, go ahead, man.
Go on, please.
Do you think Sony made a mistake making this whole generation about 1080p and 60 frames a second? Because if the DirectX 12 comes out and the Xbox gets all its games 1080p 60 frames a second, and then Sony start not be able to keep up, do you think this will be a problem then? Or you think the media will cover for them? Talking about that thing with Killzone. What's that thing he called? Temporal projection or something?
Temporal projection, and now Gorilla's even saying they're basically using that in future titles that they're developing and stuff like that. So
yeah, Yeah.
Oh, so they doing astral projection over there, huh?
They projecting their soul onto something
Yeah.
else. Yeah, I got you, man.
Protection.
Yeah. But I believe Sony definitely shot themselves in the foot. I believe that they looked at the spec sheets, they looked at the type of memory and everything like that. Now Sony is a PS4 is a powerful system, but all their power is
Yeah.
up front in unified RAM. You know what I'm saying? Their memory has to do everything, where the X1 is a lot more intricate. They have special components just for audio and stuff like that, where Sony, they have to process all that with their unified pool of RAM, and it takes a lot away from what developers are really doing specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have to grab everything from that one pool of RAM.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, a developer recently from Valve already said that DirectX 12 will be groundbreaking and OpenGL, is bad. Does
Yeah.
DirectX X12 have an advantage over OpenGL? Is it a better, better to work with? Is it going to make the system better than OpenGL?
definitely. I'll let you in. Like I said, I do this research. The reason why Sony picked OpenGL, there's two reasons why. First of all, it disconnects them from Microsoft. They don't have a need from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Second of all, if you look at the information on OpenGL, you go into like the tech forums, the tech websites and stuff like that. OpenGL is a specified API to take advantage of multi-platform development. All right.
Yeah.
Now you take together what Sony said about they don't really have the money to put out all these exclusives like they did with the PS3. I believe they did a smart move. They're gonna rely on multi-plats, and what better API to use than one specifically made for multi-plat development.
True.
That's why they're using it.
Well, I think you've answered a lot there on the DirectX 12. Blaze, you wanna pitch in, man?
No, but I just think it's ridiculous that we have to be talking about resolution and all this stuff. This is crazy. It should be about just the gameplay and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is, if they want 1080p, it's because PC guys right here 4K and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
See them bragging about resolution.
Yeah.
So I think it's silly.
Nah, they brag about free games.
Pirate Bay.
Big Kahuna, you want to have your say on this, man? Is he there, my man? Is he there, Big Kahuna?
Oh, I'm here. What did you say?
Just about DirectX 12. What if you know anything about it, or if you're looking forward to it with what you've read, and I'm just get your side of it.
Well, I'll put it like this. When it was first mentioned that it was going to be coming to the X1, all the fanboys jumped out there, said it was impossible, couldn't come, you'd have to change the hardware and all that. Then when they found out it was coming to the X1, then it was, oh, well, it ain't going to make a difference. So if it wasn't going to make a difference, why even go through the whole thing of saying, well, it's impossible to come to it? I mean, DirectX 12 and the cloud, it would be pretty much like three of us. I'm lifting some weight that's really heavy, and then one of you guys represents the cloud, and the other one represents DirectX 12. You both help me lift the weight. It makes it much easier for me.
Yeah.
You couldn't put it any better.
That's the part that these ponies act like they don't understand. The more workload you take off of the GPU and the CPU makes it better for it to run games and do better graphics and better things and more things.
Yeah. Darian, do you want to have a statement? Yeah, dude.
Wake up,
Hello?
Darian.
Yo, Darian, do you want to have a
I put
statement?
everybody to sleep, man. I'm sorry. All that tech talk.
His tech
Kind of like going to church. Like,
Nah, I'm here.
Oh man.
Nah, I just think whatever helps, man, to make our gaming experience better, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me if it has to do with the workload of the CPU and the GPU. I'm fine with that, man. This is
Yeah.
cool with me. I'm glad to have a better gaming experience if Microsoft can make it happen, man. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. As the Fat Gamer says, it is what it is, and that's it. So DirectX 12, yeah, we have a lot of things to look forward to. As I say, all this resolution gate.
Yeah, crazy.
I would rather play a game at 480p, 20 frames per second, as long as that game gives me what I want out of that game. I mean,
480p.
yeah, man. I would play a game at
Super
480p.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I would play that. I mean, a lot of these people, like when we just said about the Killzone debate, when that was thingy, a lot of these people cannot even tell what 1080p is. But as soon as that was posted, they didn't even know
unless you're
that was a
Superman or
yeah,
something.
exactly. So it's a load of bullshit.
I like to add something to that.
Wait,
You know,
you go there. You go.
You all know recently I sold my PlayStation 4,
That's
and
correct.
I had Killzone, and I didn't notice the difference when I went from the single player to multiplayer. But I've always said that you can tell the difference. But of course, the Sony ponies, you definitely can tell the difference. But none of them say, hey, this is bullshit. You guys, I'm playing it single player. Then all of a sudden, I could tell the resolution went down. What the hell's going on? Nobody said that. And also what you said, I would like to say one more thing though. Now I think Gibbo might be going a little too far from me. Let Microsoft come out and say, yeah, we're gonna bring out this game and it's gonna be in 480i. There's gonna be a problem. 720p is fine for me because that's HD. But if they say 480i, there's gonna be a problem.
See,
Oh,
like what we said before. When I said that Sony shot themselves in the foot when Gibbo asked about when they released a statement that 1080p 60 frames per second is next gen gaming, Killzone is a perfect example of them shooting themselves in the foot. All right, because now a whole controversy went on over the resolution of Killzone. Now, granted, from what I heard, I haven't played the game, but from what I heard, people said it's a boring game. But it is a pretty game.
Yeah.
And now these extremists can't claim that because their company said 1080p, 60 frames per second. So now the ponies out there can't be like, well, yeah, I understand, and they did a bad thing, but that's a pretty game still. They can't say that now because of what Sony said.
Yeah,
you're right. It is a pretty game, and I did have it, and it was a very beautiful game. But not only was that multiplayer not in 1080p, but it doesn't hit 60 frames per second either.
Yeah, we're seeing frame drops on that. Yeah, go on, Blazing. You've been wanting to say something for 5 minutes. Go on, man.
It's boring.
I don't think it's go on, Blaze.
All I heard was it's boring. That's
what I heard. Yeah,
that's the stamp right there. Boof.
Yo, Blazing, are you there, man? No, right, no problem. I'm gonna move on with this, right? So,
Blazing said, "Fuck this! I can't take resolution no more. It's too much."
So it says in the future, a developer has said that DirectX 12 and cloud computing processing will leave OpenGL in the dust. PlayStation will be left behind when DirectX 12 and cloud computing. And that was Yomo Flowtech just giving us a question there. So we'll see how that goes. Right, now I think he's left as well now. Blazing. I think he'll jump back in a minute. As we know, 2014, it's been a pretty bad year now for delays. Witcher 3, Batman got released. Batman got announced it was going to be delayed till 2015. Someone posted a rumor the other day. Sunset Overdrive. I think that was a mistake by Amazon, though. I had to do a bit of research in that. I've not heard nothing on that. So these gaming delays, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, especially with what we've got coming out this year? I mean, it is a bad thing for the PlayStation side, I think.
You read my mind, man.
I would say it's a good thing and it's a bad thing
Mm,
because you go to E3, they show all these games, they say coming out in 2014. Then the
yeah,
next thing you know, they say, oh, being delayed. Now you got your hopes up to play this game, and
yeah.
now it's getting pushed back. And what you said about the PlayStation, that's the very reason why I got rid of my PlayStation, because I was tired of not having any games. And before the ponies come in here and jump on me, yes, I will repeat it again. The PlayStation had more games than the X1. But unfortunately, none of those games were games that I liked, except
Yeah.
for one, and it had no multiplayer. So, move on.
Mm. Blazing,
Is he back?
is he back? Blazing, you there, man? No, go on. Right, we'll just go on Xbox.
All right. Well, me being an X1 owner, I mean, I got to talk about what I know about. And I don't like delays per se. I was actually I was really upset with Quantum Break. Now I know, people say officially there was no like release date
Release
or
date.
anything like that, but I do believe that like it was hinted at that, by like the holidays of this year this game was going to be out. Um as far as like when it comes to like Witcher, Batman, like multi-plat games, from what I know from DX12, and people can call me whatever they want to call me when I say this, anything that brings the games closer to the DX12 dev kits, because I know these games will only need minimal coding to go into a DX12 dev kit. So
Mm.
whatever brings them closer to those dev kits for my X1, I am completely fine with, because I know it's just going to make it that much better.
Well, here's a good question then,
Yeah.
right? Will we see any games what are released now? Will we see any DirectX 12 help on them games?
Um, I believe so. I don't have any actual like concrete evidence, but from what I'm seeing with the screenshots on Horizon 2,
Yeah.
what I'm seeing with the screenshots with Fable Legends. Now you got to remember when Microsoft talked about the release of DX12, the dev
Oh
kits
man.
going out to people, so this way, the games for the holidays in 2015,
Yeah.
they'll be able to utilize it. That's third party people. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Those are multi-plat devs. What makes people think that under Microsoft's umbrella,
Yeah.
those closer like Remedy, Turn 10, you know what I'm saying? Lionhead Studios. What makes you think that they don't have their hands on this right now?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know, it
I
would be
mean,
stupid not to.
that was the secret sauce, wasn't it? That before all this was made, we had a secret sauce, which was the DirectX 12. A lot of people are saying, "How can you implement DirectX 12?" What I've told them is that in your Xbox One right now, there's a few components in there what I've not even woke up yet, and all it needs is Microsoft to update the hardware inside the box,
Flip the switch.
and that's how it all runs from there. Yeah,
Yep,
with the
and it
software.
just starts humming.
Major Nelson's "flip the switch" famous quote here on the
Yeah.
DRM.
Well, the thing is, if you look at it, they said
Yeah.
the one main setback when it comes to DirectX 12 on multiple core units is heat. Now,
Yeah.
look at how the X1 is made. There's
Oh, man.
vents everywhere.
yeah.
There's a huge fan.
Yeah.
What's to tell people that this
All
wasn't made
over it.
with that API
Yeah.
directly in mind?
I mean, I've had my X1 on. I think
Come on.
the longest I've had mine on is about 36 hours straight, and it never raised the temperature. It was still cool, and the fans were kicking in every now and again. But as you know, you can't even hear the
Yeah.
fans inside the X1. So, so I think that is a good point, Xbox. Actually, I never actually thought of that. There's fans all around this console, so you are
Yeah.
right there. They have had this in mind, and
Feel
they've
the
said, right,
vents,
well,
too.
yeah, we need to cool this system. If we're going for full optimization with DirectX 12, it needs to breathe, and that's what they've done. They've integrated the fans and everything with the thing and that. So yeah,
Exactly.
brilliant, man. Blazing, have you got a thing on this on the delays on games? Do you reckon it will be? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Now I am disappointed that
Well,
Quantum Break was delayed, but if it makes the game better, I don't have a problem with it. But it's messed up. You know, I want to play the game now.
yeah, yeah, that's it. But I mean, uh, if you knew for a fact that DirectX 12 was going to help The Witcher 3 performance and everything else, would you wait that extra 6 months knowing that? Would you be happy with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah. You
True.
know,
I
Good
mean,
man.
we
Good
all still
man.
to play coming this holiday season, so I can
Yeah.
wait. You know, I'm not a baby.
yeah.
I can be patient.
Yo,
I
Darian,
can't say for the Sony fans though.
I know that.
man,
I mean, yeah,
I don't. I don't think it's. I don't think it's. I think it's. I'm gonna say what my boy said. What Daryl said. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. It's a good and a bad thing, man.
Mm.
It's bad because it's like we waiting for games. We're dry for games. We're thirsty for games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it makes the games better, then you know who could be the judge of that, man. You want the best game possible. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, a lot of people will say they don't want a game that's going to be delayed, but if it makes it more polished and it makes it more better. But to me, if you look at what Watch Dogs did, where they pushed it back and the game was still not as good as what it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
so coming to the
that for
defense
no
of Watch Dogs, we have been having a shitload of fun on that. Now, I was going to say this
yeah.
before, right? I was going to say this before, right? I thought the reason they delayed Watch Dogs, because it was supposed to be a launch title, was to graphically enhance from what we've seen, because they got all this stick. Well, that's a downgrade. I mean, when I put the game in at first, it was like, wow. I mean, it's just like a basic.
Yeah.
It's like what Big Kahuna said. It's Ubisoft's version of GTA 5. Now, as you know, we are having a laugh online with it, and it is a good laugh. But visually, I expected a bit better than that.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. If you ever look at anybody that pushes back a game, it's always the pop. You know what I'm saying? It's all the little kinks out the game and to make it look more
Yeah.
appealing. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do as much. So to me, if you're a developer and you're coming out with a game, don't give it a release date until you're ready. At least until you know that the game is coming out on that date. Don't give
I like
us
that better. That's
like,
true.
you know what I'm saying? If you look at the Batman was supposed to come out in October. They gave it a release date and everything. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell us that game is coming out and then push it back all the way to next year.
Speaking
Not
of
right
Batman,
Yeah, I like that.
speaking of Batman, someone's just like in the questions and answers, they've put, did you know although Arkham Knight is only current next gen in brackets, it is running on Unreal Engine 3 and not Unreal Engine 4? Now I thought Arkham Knight
That's
was going to
crazy.
run on 4.
Yeah, that's not
I
good.
was gonna run on 4 too because it looked nice.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll
that's
still be
what I
pretty. You
thought.
never know.
But I mean, Unreal Engine 3 is good. But I mean, I'm sure I read it was going to be running on Unreal Engine 4. So I might be wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Right, last question before we wrap this up. It is the 10% boost in the X1 performance. Now they are devs can use the extra 10% on the connectless Xbox One. I've got a lot of people saying, well, what happens to mine now? Do I get 10% less, or is my system going to run slower? So I'm going to put it to Xbot and a few of the others just to clear this up. So I'm going to start with Xbot on this.
Well, from what I've read and what I've seen, like again, research is a part of my life. Yeah, you're not gonna lose anything with having the Kinect. I mean, the function, you could keep the Kinect plugged in, and it's up to the developers what they're gonna do with the extra bandwidth to the GPU. It's up to them. So they could add in Kinect functions if they want and such, but it's not gonna affect your system, to the point where you have to either unplug your Kinect or anything like that. What it'll do inherently is just basically, if the developer decides to use that extra bandwidth, it'll essentially just shut the Kinect off while you're playing that specific game, and it'll turn back on, when you stop playing it. No big deal.
You see, what I'm interested in is how they're going to integrate this game recording. Are they going to do it by speech recognition for your headset, or are they going to use one of the buttons on the controllers to actually, like, if you want to record the gameplay on the fly and that? So that will be a bit. We'll see what happens there on that one. So thanks, Xbox. Big Kahuna, what do you think about this 10% extra for the devs?
Like I said, once again, you put that 10%, you put all the DirectX 12 and the cloud and all that stuff together, and you got a super computer. Now, I know the Tony can come in here and go, that guy, I don't know what he's talking about, but I just don't understand how they just don't think that when it says it's going to relieve the workload of the CPU and the GPU, how they don't think that that means the CPU and the GPU can do more. Now you're adding like 3 things into that. That's just more stuff it's going to do. Now, am I saying that it's going to be superior to the PlayStation? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But, I mean, all that superiority under that hood of the PlayStation didn't make me keep it. So what good is it?
Good point, man. Good point.
True. Blazing?
Yeah, I think most normal gamers that's not crazy, I think they don't really care about this stuff. They just want to play good games. But anything that makes the games run smoother. So I think this is a plus for for the Xbox.
Yeah.
But personally, I just don't care. But it's just this generation we start talking about all this tech stuff, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
because I guarantee if this Sony would have never brought this up, we wouldn't even be talking about it right now.
That is a good
It's just a talk.
Yeah.
It's just a talking point.
Because on last generation with 360 and PS3, it was never discussed, this resolution gate ever. You know what I mean? He wouldn't say actually, well, what does that run in? 1080i, 40 frames per second, 720p. Is it sub HD and all that? You know, that wasn't even talked about. So I don't know why. It all gets brought up, and that's not me being sour.
Just like worry. Yeah, I can't tell if this looks good because I don't know the P's.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
P's.
Or the
cream and berries.
It's running at 60 fps a second.
So,
you're right, Darian. He's got me muted. He's got us muted. Hang on.
Yeah.
Darian, you there, man?
He confirmed the PS4.
Alright, so like, he's probably got his credit card bill or something and he's fated or something like that. Yeah, so last question for all you guys. The best game on last gen. What was your best game, Blazing? And we'll start with you.
Had to be either Gears of War or Halo 4 was my favorite. I really love Gears of War. You know when you first played it and you changed to the Locust, it was just real fun. When you know you do that run and you slam into cover, it was really an exciting game.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see the next Gears of War for next gen.
Yeah, man. A big Kahuna.
That was one of my favorite games.
Gears of War.
I would have to say Halo 4.
Yeah.
But also I'd have to say Gears of War also. I was just watching my 7-year-old play it today, and once I seen how good it looked on the 360, I was like, I can't imagine what that's going to look like on
next gen. Yeah. Same as.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Xbox.
All right, man. I got a special place in my heart for Halo, but if I gotta say my favorite last gen games, I'm gonna throw a curveball in here. I would have to say Fear 2.
Oh, really?
Fear 2 had an absolutely incredible story, had a really good use of bullet time. The multiplayer was incredibly fun. There were mechs, first-person shooter, but it would have to. Oh yeah, and you actually pin them to the walls, man. Like I used to pin dudes in like crazy poses and stuff like that. But
like him upside down from his feet.
It's a toss-up between Fear 2 and Horizon. I was a team leader in Forza Horizon. I had a lot of fun making crew tags, sending them out to my people, getting into races together. We had enforcers in case people were being dirty racers, that they would come up and take them out. Like we everybody had a key role, and I can't wait for Horizon 2. Again, shout out to Bang Bang because I recently got voted as a team leader for the Bang Bang Racing crew,
Racing crew,
when
yeah.
Horizon 2 comes out.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
What I'll do,
Yeah.
I will leave a link to the Bang Bang Next Gen Gamers, as you know, which run by Next Gen 720 Zaire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll leave a link. I'll leave all these guys' channels in the link as well. So I want to say a massive thanks to you guys. Thanks for joining me on this tonight. And we've got quite a few viewers watching. So and we've had some good questions from the viewers. And Xbot knows his shit.
Thank you.
That's one of them. That's from Alex G. He knows his shit, and he does know his shit. Yeah. So I just want to say thanks a lot for watching, guys. So I'm going to leave it with Blazing Phoenix, the Big Kahuna, and Xbox 448. This has been JLXB1, and keep it gaming, as we always say. Peace out, and I'll catch you later, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.